I subscribed to multiple tip providers because things were not working out for me. Then I started to go and take a lot of courses because I wanted to learn different strategies. From 2013 all the way till 2017, I never made a single rupee of profit. Stock market is a pretty simple game. You only have two aspects in market. Within a year, we were able to double the money just by Hey guys, I'm Saketh and I'm a professional options trader. I started my option trading journey a decade ago in 2013, and today in this video I'm going to tell you how it was. So in 2013, I was first introduced to stock market by my father. So he was actually taking a look at CNBC and ET Now. So he is an active investor. So while he was looking at CNBC and ET Now, it built up curiosity in me to ask what exactly it was. I was seeing the company tickers moving bottom of the screen and I was curious to know what they were. So I just went and asked him curiously, so what exactly are these? So he told me that these are companies and you usually buy them when the rates are low and you sell them when the rates are higher. So this was the first time I actually was introduced to stock market. As and when my curiosity built up, I involved myself more into stock market. And finally, maybe over next 6 months, so I understood how the buying selling happens. So you can buy the stock at a lower rate, you can sell it at a higher rate. And this way, I was now fully into markets. So while my father was trying to make somewhere around 15 to 20% per year by investing, I thought anyways, the stocks are moving almost around 1 to 2% every single day. Even if I'm able to capture 1% a day, I can make 250% a year. So this was a very crude thought which I had when I actually started trading. So I thought, okay, I went to my father and told him, so you are trying to make 15% a day, but if I can capture 1%, I will make 250% a year. But obviously, this was not true. It is not possible in the stock market you come and actually start to achieve 250% a year. So that reality hit me maybe over the next 2 to 3 months when I actually started trading, and 3 to 6 months later I had absolutely no money made. I was actually in a loss. So this is how I was introduced to stock market and how I started trading in stock market. So as I went ahead with my journey, so I was still in my 8th grade while all this was happening. Then I shifted to swing trading. So I thought, okay, intraday trading is hard. So let me buy a stock, try to hold it for 3 to 4 days or at least maybe 1 or 2 weeks and then sell it. So unfortunately for me, even the swing trading didn't work out the way I wanted. Then again, I had to explore something else. Then I went into option buying. So with option buying, I tried almost for 2 years and even the option buying didn't work out the way I wanted. So if you actually take a look at my journey from 2013 all the way till 2017, I never made a single rupee of profit. It was continuous losses over time. So every single quarter, I was either losing anywhere around 15 to 20,000 rupees. So maybe during the initial stage of my journey between 2013 to 2017, I would have lost easily over 5 lakh. So mostly in this, I would like to thank my father for supporting me because since he was in the market already, he knew that ups and downs are regular in the market. So you are going to lose money before you actually learn. So he never traded before this, right? So I was the only one who actually got into trading. So that's the reason, even though if I was losing money, he was there to support me and give me 5,000, 10,000 rupees whenever I lost to try out something different. So this really gave me the boost which I wanted. And finally in 2017, I shifted towards selling options. And I would like to say this is where my actual journey begins as a professional option trader and also as a business person, right? So in 2017 was the first time I came into selling options, and from then on I started to build consistency in making money. So all this while for 4 years I had continuously lost money, and post that I became slightly consistent in making money. So my quarters or months, for example, always turned out to be profitable, and it was not just 1 or 2 months, it was series of months which actually turned out to be profitable. So while I was making continuous profit, I also had a very good group of friends who were interested in trading and investing. So I approached them, and couple of my friends and me together founded Optionables. So we went to all our classmates, we asked them, so we are going to manage money for you, so why don't you give us 500 rupees or 1000 rupees? So this way we collected a total sum of 25,000 rupees. So one thing what is most important here is back then there was up to 30x leverage. So that means you can just imagine if I was trading with 25,000 or 50,000, it was equivalent to 15 lakh because there was 30x leverage. So 25,000 collected from my friends and my own capital included. So we had totally close to around 50,000 rupees, by which we started trading again, and we also started managing for a couple of our friends. And this time the overall capital was almost around 15 lakh including the leverage. So we were able to consistently make around 1 to 2% every single week using leverage. So while this started happening, so because we were consistent in making money, so even the word spread around college telling that okay, these people actually manage funds. And one of my teacher who was in Christ also got interested and he supported us. Meanwhile, the parents of my friends who had given us 500 or 1000 rupees also wanted to support us. So they started to bring in more capital. This way, within a year, from almost around 25,000 of additional capital which we had got from our friends, so it went up almost till 5 lakh. So now again with 30x leverage, you can know what 5 lakh is going to be worth. It would be worth almost close to around 1.5 crores. So this was during 2018 and we had a capital of 5 lakh, and it was quite easy to make money during that time because of leverage. You could simply go far away, sell penny options, keep double the stop loss and wait for them to go to zero. The leverage actually turned out to be a great boon for us back then. So again, I would like to emphasize on being at right place at the right time, because by 2019 they started to remove leverage, but by then we had already grown our capital to a pretty good extent. So this way we started to continue for one more year, we started to get additional funds, and by 2019 we had an overall corpus of almost close to around 50 lakh. Right. So this was also the time, as I said, they started to reduce the leverage, and by then we had already built a pretty good corpus for ourselves. So then we also registered Optionables Fintech LLP in 2019. So as we came to the end of 2019, my college placement also started. So in my college placement, I got a job in a trading firm itself, a prop trading firm, as a trader itself, exactly what I wanted to do. But this time I was in a dilemma whether to go for the job or maybe try to pursue what we had already built. So then I thought, okay, anyways things are going fine, so let me just give it a try by continuing what I am doing. That's the reason I dropped off the job and continued to pursue my passion. Right. So couple of my friends, that is Sujit and Saurabh and me, together founded Optionables. So Optionables was a prop trading firm mainly, and we had couple of partners who had given us the capital back then. So then slowly and gradually we were able to maintain our consistency in performance, and then by 2020 COVID happened. So while COVID happened, I would tell this was actually a great boon to us. So most of the industries actually suffered during COVID, but this was a great boon to us because two things happened. The very first thing is our social media started to pick off, and also the second thing what happened is we got to buy equities at a very cheap price. So by the time we started Optionables end of 2019, so we were finalizing all of the things, and that time the COVID crash happened, and by the time of March or April we were able to raise money and invest in equities at the lowest price. So hardly within a year we were able to double the money just by investments, and including options we were able to return almost around 180 to 190% that single year itself. So this gave us a huge boost. So people who trusted us back in 2017, 18 or even say 2020 got fantastic returns, and they started to invest much more. So within a year, somewhere close to around 2021 mid or 2021 end, our capital had now gone up to almost around 4 CR. So this is how I started with almost a very small capital, and then luckily we were there at the right place, right time, and things played out pretty well for us. So then came the year of 2022. So this is where we actually started to scale upon what we already had, and by 2023 our capital had now grown to over 10 CR. So what we were managing, and not just that, we also started to get into other technology ventures where we started building automation platforms for traders where they can come and automate their trades. So when you take a look at the journey end to end, the journey has been quite great. So this is only when you look at the big picture. But when you actually start to go into the detail, so you will actually find a lot of challenges which we had to go through. So I would say we are pretty lucky in the aspect that so we didn't have to face a lot of challenges which major business face, that too especially during COVID. So a lot of businesses got hit. We found COVID to be really helpful for us. So not just that, even many micro challenges which people face while they start business, luckily we didn't have them. But while we started on a good note, there were a couple of interesting lessons which I learned. The very first lesson is start early and follow your passion. So since I started trading while I was in school or college, there was very little that I could lose. So I can give it try for multiple years till things started working out for me. As you already know that for 4.5 years, nothing worked out well for me. It was only after 5th year, things actually started to turn out well for me in trading. So this buffer of 4 to 5 years was there because I started early. So if I was starting, let's say, post my graduation, so maybe I wouldn't have waited for 4 years, and before that itself, maybe I could have also gone for an alternative career option. So starting early is really important, and starting small is also really important. So why exactly it is important to start small, especially in trading, is because in the beginning, there'll be a lot of things which most of us will be unaware about, right? So as and when we start trading, as and when we get into markets, we will realize it. So for me, example, I realized that I am not a trader who either prefers doing intraday equities or option buying. So these two don't really fit in my psychology. So I am more comfortable selling options. So this took me a while to realize that, okay, it is not about doing what makes me more money. It is about doing what is more comfortable for me, right? So if you start small, there'll be not much to lose, so you can easily make up for your losses over time. The third and the most important thing is to actually be consistent in what you do. So for example, I started writing stock market blogs in 2014. So till maybe the end of 2020, so there was hardly 20 to 30 viewers, I would say, on a daily basis. So I wrote the blog almost till 2018 without fail every single day. Then by 2018, I started doing YouTube. We hardly had 1,000 subscribers, less than 1,000 subscribers, but I was consistent in writing blogs. I was consistent in putting out videos. Finally, after 7 years, our social media started to kick off. So within hardly a year, we got close to around 400k subscribers on YouTube, and across social media, we started growing. So this was one with social media. Now coming to trading. The only reason why people were able to stick with us for so long in this journey is because we were consistent. We never delivered any extraordinary returns like 100% or 200% except for the COVID year. But what we did was consistently deliver good returns. So we were able to easily achieve somewhere around 25 to 30% year over year with option trading for almost around 5 to 6 years. And that's the reason, because we were so consistent, people were able to trust us and they were able to double down on us. So it is more important to be consistent and grow gradually over time than trying to take higher risk and trying to make a lot of money in a single go. Now finally, I would also like to tell you a little about trading challenge. So when it comes to trading, it is a zero-sum game. So mostly a negative sum game because you will also be paying brokerage and other charges. But broadly, it is a zero-sum game. That means if I have to make money, somebody on the other side has to lose money. So trading just transfers money from a person who is losing to a person who is winning. So if I have to actually end up making money, then I have to take the money from somebody else on the opposite side. So what does this actually mean? So this was one very big mistake which I did in the initial days, that is to go behind strategies. So I went behind looking for any strategy that would help me make money consistently, right? So I subscribed to multiple tip providers because things were not working out for me. Then I started to go and take a lot of courses because I wanted to learn different strategies and see what worked out well for me. But eventually I realized, so maybe by 2018-19 itself, I realized that the game is in the mind, not with the strategy, because every single person who is trading will be aware about every single strategy out there. There is nothing which I can invent today which is well known for me and somebody else cannot do that, right? So all the strategies are out open in the market, and strategies don't make you money. So the real money is made by how you execute the strategy. A very simple example is, let's say two people are sitting together and we take the same trade, but by the end, both of us will have a different P&L. That is very simply because both of us would have executed things quite differently. So we would have taken our exits differently, we would have kept our stop loss at different places. So we will be influenced by the market movement differently. And this is the reason we will end up with a different result. So that's when I realized money is not with strategy, money is not with any tips, money is with how you execute your trades. So this is one lesson where you try to focus on build your skills well rather than going behind any strategy. The second lesson, as I told you, is with respect to psychology. So a lot of people in trading fail with psychology, and I have also failed multiple times. Even though I am talking about how exactly to maintain your psychology, it is very easy for us to fall for the market movement and actually lose our discipline. So let me just give you a simple example. Before we start trading, so we would have thought, okay, if I'm going to get so much profit, I'm going to book it. If I'm going to get so much loss, I'm going to book it. While we actually start trading, this is where our psychology comes into picture. So what really happens is when we actually hit our loss, we are not ready to accept the loss. So this is a really big problem. So what we do is, with a hope that the market is going to come in our favor, we continue to hold the trade. But this will most usually turn out to be a disaster because market is going to give us much bigger losses, and again we won't book. And finally, when we actually get what we want, so we believe that from a very bad point, we have now got to where we want. So let me just wait for some more time and see if it is going to work out in our favor. But unfortunately, we don't stick to our discipline and we end up booking very big loss. So this is very usual to happen in stock market, and that's the reason sticking to what you plan is a real skill, I would say, which is going to help you become profitable in the long run. And finally, to conclude, stock market is a pretty simple game. You only have two aspects in market. One is the probability, second one is the risk to reward. So probability is mostly, you can say, 50-50, right? So let's say I take any trade, there's a 50% chance that I'm going to make profit in this trade, and there's a 50% chance I'm going to lose in this trade. So then what exactly can help me make profit? It is the risk to reward. Let us assume on the days I lose, I end up giving up, say, somewhere like 5,000 rupees. But on the days I make money, let's say I make on an average of 10,000 rupees. So this small difference of me only losing 5,000 rupees on a losing day and making 10,000 rupees on a winning day is going to add up to a huge difference over time. And this is what brings the extra alpha in trading. So these are some of the things which I have learned by losing a lot of money. So the thing is, why I'm not going to very specific trades is because there were multiple trades between, say, 2017 to 2023 or 24, which have taught me a lot of lessons with respect to risk management, psychology, and being disciplined. So multiple situations where, like for example, 2019 Nirmala Sitharaman candle, as option sellers, we ended up losing a lot. Even during COVID, even though we were able to get equities at a really low price, so we lost quite a lot with options. So the next one was during Russia-Ukraine war. Again, the market crashed and we ended up losing a lot. So there are multiple instances where things have not played out well for us, and these have taught us quite a lot of valuable lessons. Mostly when it comes to trading, 90% of the people lose money. And not just that, 97% of the people can't even beat the returns of FT. So that means they are making less than 7%. A lot of people want to choose trading as their career option because it gives them a lot of freedom. But in reality, that is not the case. So even though it gives you a lot of freedom, it comes with its own challenges. Because first, to actually learn how to be in the game itself takes quite some time. So you have to slowly start to be more disciplined, and it is also not meant for everybody because trading involves a lot of stress. So even though you might be just working from 9:15 to 3:30, but the stress you go through between 9:15 to 3:30 is unreal. So as and when your capital starts to grow, so you are going to have a lot of stress in hand to actually deliver returns, since you will end up making a lot of mistakes. So what I would like to say is, you are the best mentor for yourself because you understand your psychology well. You understand what works for you, you understand what doesn't work for you, you understand what kind of trades you want to be in, you understand what kind of trade you don't want to take, right? So do not try to copy anybody else's trading style. So be yourself, be your own, and try to learn from your own mistakes. Try to be in the game, make smaller mistakes so you can be in the game for a very long time. And over time, definitely your journey is going to be really great. So it is going to be really hard in the beginning because you're going to make a lot of mistakes, you're going to lose money, you're not going to be consistent, you're not going to be disciplined. So these things take some time to show up. But it is not just with respect to trading, with anything you do in life, be it trading, be it any other business, be it a business which you are passionate about, a side gig. So everything takes time to actually start showing you results. So make sure that you stay in the game, and this is one of the main reasons which has actually helped us to be where we are today. So with this, I would also like to thank Josh Talks for giving me the opportunity to be on the stage and address you all. And that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for that.